Hello, hello. JD Grospitz here, lead singer and streaming talent of Malignant Bear. We are pre-recorded today with a quick review and overview of Warriors All-Stars. This is a Tecmo Koei game, a side branch of the Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors series, the Musou games, Warriors games, for those who don't know. This game came out in 2017, and I just picked it up recently because after playing through Nioh 2, I needed a palate cleanser for an action game. The combat in that game was so good and so in-depth that I was having trouble playing anything else, even remotely similar. So, no offense to the Warriors series, but they're fairly simplistic and mindless, and I wanted something like that to kind of take my mind off it, and this was perfect. It was on sale recently, and I picked it up, and just wanted to talk about it because it doesn't have a lot of press or reviews or anything, which is odd, because it's a very interesting title, and it's a bit of an odd title too. This is a crossover game with a bunch of the Warriors titles and a bunch of other Tecmo Koei titles, and we'll talk about that as we jump in and play, because I want to keep this short, so we'll kind of discuss things as we're going. So, here we are on the overview map of the game. I've been playing for quite a few hours now. This game is... The story is that cat people, their world is ending, and so they've summoned heroes from other worlds to protect them and save them. And then shenanigans happen and you have to fight other cat people. It doesn't really matter. The point is that there's a bunch of different heroes from a bunch of different games, and you're all fighting, and it's a Warriors-style game. You have a big map. It's full of different types of missions. They randomly spawn, so there's a little bit of a variety here in terms of what you can do. Gameplay-wise. But let's look at who I have so far. Like I said, there's heroes from a bunch of different games. I have them all unlocked here. So you can see just down the list, obviously a Dynasty Warriors staple. That's my main right now. And I'll talk about that as we go in. Then there's some characters from other things, obviously DOA, the Atelier series, more Dynasty and Samurai Warriors characters, Tokiden, I believe it's pronounced. It's Tecmo Koei's sort of knockoff of Monster Hunter. They seem fun. The characters you can unlock is dependent on the route you take. There's 3 different story paths in this game, and the game encourages you to play through them all because it has a New Game Plus system. When you get to a certain point in the story, you will get missions like this with a little red icon on it, and when you beat that mission, the game ends and you get a New Game Plus. And when you do the New Game Plus, everything carries over. And by everything, I mean your heroes, their levels, and their cards. There's no gear in this game, just cards. So it's very basic. There's pretty much only that to farm up. And the other thing is your regard. And you build this by just having the other heroes in your party. So you can see I'm using Wang Yonji as my main. So she has regard with pretty much everybody, but it's independent and it's one-sided, which is odd. There's always grinding in Warriors games. There's a lot of grinding in this one. So you can see Wang Yonji, I have maxed out my regard with Oka and Horo there from Tokiden, because I got them early on, so I use them a lot. But when I look at them, they don't have max regard with Wang Yonji, so I have to play as them to build that up, which is a little strange. But you want this because it gives you some passive boosts. You can see there's a lot of them based on every single hero in the game and the different levels that you have them at. So something interesting that this game does is your team. You only control one hero in battle. You have a full team of 5. They are just your support characters. They just hang out with you while you're mowing down enemies, and that's it, and that's how you build up regard with them. So, we'll see how all of that works with a map here. So I want to get over there to do this mission eventually to unlock this new hero, and to do that I need to do one of these random missions to get more stuff on the map. So I'm going to purposely avoid any story missions. The story in this game is silly and kind of nonsensical, but I don't want to spoil anything just for that purpose. So we'll go in. This is standard Musou gameplay. You're going to be spamming a lot of the same buttons, running around. fighting things. Some things are stronger than others. Most things you'll be killing in one hit. So you can see I'm just mowing stuff down. Wangyongji is incredibly strong in this game because balance wasn't really a thing. Characters that are slower and heavier don't really do any more damage than fast characters. So there is absolutely no reason not to just use the fastest character you can. Wangyongji is incredibly fast. Her attacks go over a wide range, so she is very broken. Alright, so we have objectives here. You can see this is just a random mission. There's a decent number of maps in the game. They're taken from or inspired by all of the different properties that are in this game, which is kind of fun. The heroes have various interactions with each other, both in missions and back in the hub, and we'll talk about that after this. There's not enough of them, though. This game is odd in that it doesn't go far enough in being the massive crossover that it could and should be, which is, I think, my complaint with it, and I think lots of other people's. The grinding is fine. You know what you're getting into with a Warriors game. It's fairly mindless. Missions take 5-10 minutes tops, and you're just doing this the entire time, just fighting things, mowing them down. I don't know why these cat people are so big. Like, that one is just huge, and I'm not sure why. Sometimes they just do that. Doesn't seem to be any stronger. I don't know if it's dead or not. Can't tell. Okay, there we go. Locking on. So you can see my companions. They're just following me around. I can't control them or anything, like I said, they're just there. I can use them for their specials. So every companion has its own special. So you can see I can use all 4 of them at once. Do some cool stuff. But I don't get to control them directly, they're just sort of here. So there's Ryu. It's incredibly easy to get juggled in this game. If you're not paying attention, yeah, you'll just get juggled by enemies. Although the reverse is also true. There's an achievement in the game for beating a mission without taking any damage. I got it on the very first level of the game. So that should tell you what the difficulty is here. The roster's fairly small. There's only 30 units, or 30 heroes, like I said, and they all play fairly differently, with a couple exceptions. For some reason, most of the male heroes in the game are just spear units, and they're like all from the Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors games. That was like all they thought to include, which is kind of odd. And some characters made the translation better than others. Ones that were actually from other Musou titles, they play fine, they're really good. Like I said, that's why I'm playing a Dynasty Warriors character here with Wangyongji. Some of the other ones, for example, Nobunaga from Samurai Cats. He's just a little cat. It's very cool and fun and cute. He's not very good though, unfortunately. That's just the way it is. Again, balance wasn't really a consideration with this. You have some other abilities. You have your special bar. Does a ton of damage. You can see that little star that just dropped. That is for Musou mode, so we'll do that. And with that, enemies will respawn constantly around you while this thing ticks down, and your allies will support you as you're mowing down just hordes of enemies. You can see there's a giant KO counter there in the bottom right. It's going to keep ticking up. The more kills I get, the longer this lasts. These kills do not count towards your kills in a mission, which is kind of odd. But this is just the ultimate kind of cutting loose, blowing off some steam sort of thing. So there I killed 1,200 things in about 30 seconds. You get all the materials that things drop. And you start with the ability to do that every mission, and then you can gain the ability to do it again if you kill 1,000 things. So that was why I got that little star, so I could do that once more. So you can see random events are happening. I have to defeat the new enemy commander. And that's what every mission is like. There's, you know, bases on the map, guys to kill with names. Just have to deal with them, and then eventually, whatever the final objective is, you gotta take care of that. So again, fairly mindless, which isn't a bad thing. I've always enjoyed this series for what it is. It doesn't take itself too seriously, it never has. This is a great sort of like, I just want to kill some time and interact with some kind of goofy characters. And just turn my brain off for a little bit. There is absolutely a place for games like that, and this is one of them, so. Alright, so killed a bunch of things there, and what do I need to do? See, there's little side objectives happening, and I'm failing at them because I don't know where they're happening at. That happens a lot in Warriors games. There'll just be things happening on the map that you just can't get to. It is what it is. So, keep going here. I just need to get to the big exclamation point on the mini-map there. That's all I'm focused on. We're going to get up there. We can. See, some of my heroes are just randomly walking around doing stuff. For the most part, your allies won't do much of anything without you. They'll try. Usually they'll just die. Alright. Let's defeat the enemy reinforcements. Did that. These guys are glowing. I don't know why. See, they're all cat people. Sometimes you fight normal NPC fodder from a Warriors game. Those are in here too. Again, there's other unit types, other map types based on the different properties that are here. So there's, you know, some enemies from Nioh, some enemies from Tokiden. There's maps that, you know, look like they're straight out of DOA. They clearly had some fun with this, but again, they didn't go far enough with it. And I think it's because they developed this at the exact same time as Warriors Orichi, which is a more well-known crossover. That's just with the Warriors characters. It's a long-running series, there's a storyline in it and everything. It's more of a traditional Musou game, whereas this is kind of lacking some features and polish. So, alright, so I beat that guy. And I won the mission. Tell it's over because I can't fight anymore. My allies are just constantly chattering the entire match. They do that. If I haven't mentioned, the whole game is in Japanese, with the exception of William from Nioh. He speaks English, and no one ever acknowledges it, and it's just kind of funny. Ooh, my clear time was too slow. Alright, so I leveled up. You can see all the stuff I got. Got some materials. These are used for crafting cards, because there are no other items in the game, it's just cards. So you can make cards, which you never have to do, because cards drop from missions. And you also get quests from each individual hero to give you more cards. So the crafting system is just sort of a weird thing. As you can see, it expanded more of the map. I still can't quite reach her, so I can do that later. We'll check out the hub now. It's the Sanctuary. So you can see there's not a whole lot going on here. This is... I'm on New Game Plus or something. I've lost track. Some of the endings of this game are very early on. Depending on what you do, some take a little bit longer. But like I said, everything carries over. So you're encouraged to just pretty much check out every one and then jump back in. So you can interact with all of your different allies here. They have different things to say based on what hero you're playing as. And they have some little interactions with each other. But there's not too many. There only seems to be a few, which is, again, they just didn't do enough with the crossover here. What else is there? So here we have the card system. So you can see you can make cards, you can sell the ones you have, destroy the ones you have, which I don't know why you would do that. You can enhance your cards and give them little extra stat boosts here. Again, there's not too many. This is supposed to make up for the lack of normal equipment, but it's not super in-depth. Your cards have elements, and you can boost those, but only a little bit. They only go up to +10 maximum. So for example, this card for Wang, I'm never going to use anything else on her pretty much. This is as strong as it's going to get. It's maxed out pretty much everywhere, unless I want to add more effects to it, which I can. A ton of other cards. They exist. There's not too much else with them. Heroes do some kind of silly things here. Here's Hanoka from DOA. She's just running around. You can chat with her. You don't have to use your heroes. You can just pay to level them up. So, like I said, I've just been using this one pretty much, and then paying to level up the others, because there's not much reason to use anyone else until you max out Regard. That's one of the big things you're going to be grinding. Here's the hot spring. This was the thumbnail for this video. For some reason, there's massage chairs here, so you can see she's getting a massage. And you can interact with your allies by going into the hot spring. And this is another thing you have to grind up. There's an achievement for getting all of the different interactions with the hot spring. So here's Sophie from one of the Atelier games. Sometimes the bath is interrupted by animals. One time it was a bear, and I, of course, grabbed a screenshot because that was perfect. But yeah, the whole point of that is just for achievements and little segments like that, which is pretty much nothing. You don't learn anything from that. But yeah, this game's interesting, but it's a Warriors game. You know what you're getting into. There's one of the cat people. As I said, you have little quests from all the characters that you have. You have to do specific things based on their series. So for this, I have to get materials from the Atelier games for their quests, which makes sense. Other ones, it's just, do 5 missions, kill X number of enemies, fight certain bosses. It's very basic, very bare bones. It's not bad. I think the biggest issue with this game, other than some questionable optimization, is this could and should have been a budget title. The fact that this was released and stayed at $60 for so long, especially when it came out alongside what is, by all accounts, objectively a better game with Warriors or HE4, probably doomed this one from the start. I will say, as a PC port of a Tecmo Koei game, it's fairly good. It caps at 60 FPS, but it stays at a stable 60. I'll give it that. It looks okay, sounds okay. No major complaints there. But again, this is just a nice, fun, turn off your brain sort of Warriors game. I would recommend, if you're curious about this, don't pay full price for it. Snag this on sale. I got it for, what was it, like $15 or something when it was on sale recently, and I think that's the perfect price point for this game. It's disappointing because, again, I wish they had done more with it. If they had fleshed out, added the full equipment system, made getting to various endings and the story content a little less convoluted, added some more heroes, maybe made them a little bit more different and stand out. I think that would have been good. But yeah, if you're at all curious about the Warriors series, this is, oddly enough, I think a good jumping in point because it is kind of more bare bones. So you could jump in, you don't have to know who any of these people are. There's a full encyclopedia somewhere. Might be on the main page. Yeah, it's in the main options. But where you can see information about all these characters, all the worlds and games they come from, other things from them. So you can kind of scope out some other Tecmo Koei properties if you're curious about that. And again, the storyline in this is simple and basic and kind of silly. There's some memes to be had with it for sure. But yeah, just like I said, I've been playing this game. Thought I'd put out a little video on it. This was the perfect palate cleanser for post Nioh. So go back to the main map here. And don't have to save again. But yeah, you can see I have the ability to end the game if I want to. I have 2 potential end missions. Another one up here where there's more story stuff. Some missions have where you have specific heroes you can use, and they have different story content based on that. New missions will pop up as you're traveling around, so even if you clear the map of all these, you can get new ones. Your allies will sometimes give you random stuff. So there's, depending on what you want to do, there's potentially limitless content with this game, which is kind of neat. But it's limitless content based on what's here, again. So there's infinite content, but it's not very deep. So, again, good budget title. Nothing wrong with this game, nothing bad with this game. I just wish they had done more with it. So. But yeah, this was Warriors All-Stars. Like I said, good budget pickup. I wouldn't recommend it at full price, though. But a good, turn your brain off, have an enjoying weekend or a couple nights with this, and just cut loose and kill hordes and hordes of enemies, because that's totally the point of the Warriors series. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. We do appreciate your viewership, and until next time, have a good one.